dominated Edmonds Woodway last Friday. Will Kamiak end Cascade's winning streak? Find out next on the TCI Game of the Week.
Let me tell you, folks, we've got a good one tonight. A couple of unbeatens, both 3-0 in their league, both 5-0 overall for the season. The school that's only 4 years old, Kamiak, the Knights, against the perennial powers, the Cascade Bruins. Hi, I'm Rod Belcher reporting from Everett Memorial Stadium, and tonight we've got football weather. It's cool, and it has been raining off and on all day today. With me, of course, is Kurt Marsh as our expert commentator. And Kurt, I think you're looking forward to this one just as much as I am.
This is a game that a lot of folks have been waiting for. Tonight's a night when folks will be able to see, some people are questioning, is Kamiak for real? And Cascade is definitely the test in this league to find out who can play and who can't.
Well, Cascade, of course, is ranked in the top 10 in the polls, but Kamiak nowhere to be found. I guess they don't have the respect because they're such a new school, huh?
They haven't played a real tough schedule. However, they have dominated every team they've played. They average over 400 yards of offense.
And they've got an experienced senior team. Some of those seniors have played together for absolutely 4 years from the freshman days. Okay, let's find out more about the Kamiak Knights. There's their head coach, Tim Mead. He's been the head man ever since the school opened. It's in the Mukilteo School District, by the way, down near Harbor Point. And just look at that, 55 points last week. And a sophomore, Darius Washington, well over 100 yards, and their big fullback, Josh Jansen, who's a heck of a player, too.
Josh Jansen is the bread and butter for this team. He averages over 100 yards a game, but Darius Washington showed last week he has some breakaway speed. That 133 yards came on only 8 carries.
Wow, that's a heck of an average. Well, let's find out more about the team itself from head coach Tim Mead. We had a chance to pre-tape this word from Tim, and he talks about now getting off to that 5-0 start. How was it, Tim?
Jumping off to a 5-0 start's been great, and of course you always have high expectations when you go into a season, and well, I'm not shocked. It's been great to be where we're at right now, and I think that's in part a tribute to our this senior class. We had a great senior class, a bunch of kids that are good leaders and really set an example for the younger players in our program. Well, you know, we have a number of kids that are really doing a great job. There's 3 Joshes. Josh Walter, Josh Jansen, and Josh Wright all started since they were freshmen. Josh Walter is a wide receiver and defensive back, and Josh Jansen plays fullback and inside linebacker. He's leading our team in touchdowns and rushing. And then Josh Wright plays offensive and defensive tackle for us and does an outstanding job on both sides of the ball. A couple other seniors are doing a really nice job for us. Our Andy Wheat, a wide receiver, and Chris Larder, who plays outside linebacker. I need to mention Nick Fletcher, our quarterback, who's thrown for almost 800 yards in 5 games and has done a really nice job. Obviously, if you look at the league record and what Cascade's done over the years, that's been a tough thing to do, to beat the Bruins at home or away. What we're going to have to do is continue to have the offensive success that we've had against a defense that's probably, well, undoubtedly the best defense we've played so far. And we must improve defensively ourselves this week in order to compete. We cannot continue to give up the rushing yards we're giving up and continue to let people stay in drives. We've got to get people out of drives, get the ball back, and maintain field position.
There's another coach talking about field position, Kurt. We mentioned that a lot ourselves. And Tim Mead kind of covered this whole team for us, didn't he?
There's a lot of history there. 4 years, guys have played a lot for him in those 4 years.
And we'll remember the three Joshes, and I think that Josh Wright's about the size you are, Kurt. He's 6'6", 297 pounds.
Well, thanks for being so generous. I'm not quite that light.
Well, there was a time. Was a time. All right, let's turn our attention to Cascade. Terry Ennis, of course, just keeps rolling right along, and everybody expects him to win every game. Well, one of these times you never know. Kamiak's going to test him tonight, and he apparently had a little trouble with Edmonds Woodway last week and had to go to the passing game.
Well, Terry Ennis felt like his team wasn't as physical as he likes. He's looking for more physical play this evening. There's the two leaders there for this offensive Cascade, Rob Pugmire, who had some success last week throwing 109 yards. They're fortunate it's his second year starting, and they can count on him to complete some passes. Billy Ward has been the leader all year, offensively and defensively, and you see last week he maintained that with 152 yards rushing.
And I'd like to mention a little guy. In fact, Cascade's got some little people this year. One of them is Prieto, who plays kind of an outside linebacker or defensive end. He plays all over the place, and he's only 140 pounds or so. I'm wondering what it's going to be like. He's going to tackle Jansen, some of these big people.
Well, you know he won't back down. He'll be sticking his head in there. He's one of the inspirational leaders as well as the physical leaders, despite his lack of size on this Cascade Bruin defense. He's one of the top 5 wrestlers in his weight class in the state, and that's just a testimony, some more to his toughness.
Keep looking for number 21. He's little, but oh my. All right, we've kind of covered the teams. Now it's time for us to go to work, Kurt, and I'm looking forward to it, as I've said. We'll be up in the booth in just a moment to bring you the opening kickoff and all the play-by-play action. So hang with us for TCI's Game of the Week. Won the coin toss and deferred, so Kamiak will receive to open the ball game. And let's see some of the people who make these teams go. Here's the Kamiak season leaders, Kurt.
Well, we take a look at Fletcher, has 81 attempts, 46 completions. Kamiak is going to throw 30% of the time, at least they have in their first 5 ball games. Fletcher's averaging over 160 yards a game passing. You see his main threat there, Walter and Wheat, and then Jansen, the running back, who gets most of their yards.
And taking a look at Cascade's leaders, if we can. In the meantime, we're getting ready for Chris Smoke to kick off. And back deep are Washington, number 19, and 16 is Walter. We'll pick up on Cascade's leaders in a minute and also try to give you the game officials. But here is Smoke ready to kick off. And again, we have Washington and Walter back deep, and they're both good ones. Kickoff is a nice one down the middle. It's going to be taken, and here's a reverse, fake reverse, and down the sideline goes the receiver, and that's Walter, and he's got a great return up near midfield. I think he crossed the sideline at about the 45-yard line. Well, they crisscrossed on the return. Number 16, Walter, the flanker. Josh, he's one of the 3 Joshes.
We talk about field position a little bit in the pregame. Already Kamiak starting out with great field position close to the midfield line.
And Walter, who made that return, comes down to the bottom of your screen. He's the wide out to the right side, backs in a kind of a pro set with Fletcher at quarterback, and he's a big one, by the way, 6'2" and over 220 pounds. Now there's Washington in motion, leaving just the one back, the fullback, and he's tripped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage. That's the big guy, Josh Jansen, at 210 pounds, and he stopped after gaining 3 yards from his own 44 up to the 47.
Casey Lungball coming in for Cascade to make the stop from his middle linebacker position.
2nd and 7. And they use the same set with wideouts to either side. Walter and Wheat. Wheat is left, Walter is right. And back for a pass is Fletcher. Quick out and Wheat drops the ball. Well, that was one of the ones that's right in the midsection. You'd think it's too easy, but he may have been thinking about turning downfield.
Well, he was just a quick down pattern with a hook. Cascade playing off a little bit. I think Butler on that side giving him some room as we look at the officials.
Yeah, Dwayne Martinez, the referee with the white hat. The others, Gunther Hausman, Steve Jensen, and that's not, well, Todd Stallworth, it shows there. Okay, here we go with 3rd down and 7 now at the 47-yard line. And the handoff is to Washington, trying to go wide, and his feet go out from under him, and he had some help also from Casey Lundvall again. As he tried to cut, though, his feet went out from under him. So it's going to be 3 and out after getting great position to start their drive.
Well, those kinds of plays to the outside are going to be the tough plays tonight. You saw a slip there by Washington, and that was not caused by anyone. Washington just trying to get outside. This field is a damp, wet, and slippery.
Fletcher is the punter. The deep receiver is J.J. Butler. Left-footed punt. It's end over end and not going very far. And it kind of dies in the damp grass at the 30-yard line of Cascade. It's where they'll put it in play. The field is spongy, Kurt. I walked across it.
That time only a 22-yard punt, which not a bad series by Cascade's defense. Gets Cascade pretty good field position for their offense to operate. In a play or two here, we'll put up the numbers for Cascade and see who's leading them this season offensively.
Well, Cascade had a pretty good defensive series, but of course they were also aided by a dropped pass. Okay, here's Pugmire and a quick toss to Butler, and Butler's knocked across the sideline after gaining, maybe 3 or 4 yards. Maybe not quite that. The man who hit him was Jansen, who's a heck of a linebacker, according to all the scouting reports.
Jansen is the leader offensively for Kamiak as well as defensively. Terry Ennis feels that Jansen is not only one of the best fullbacks in the league, but also one of the best linebackers. That time, Cascade going right to the outside, doing a pretty good job of getting Butler some good blocks to get him a couple of yards.
But it was only a 3-yard gain, so 2nd and 7. Here's Snell, the tight end, resetting on the left side. And the play is stopped before it gets going. Possibly somebody violated the neutral zone. I wonder, Tim, can we maybe look at those? It's an offside against the defense. I don't know if we can get the Cascade leaders or not, but we'll get to it. Here you see Martina explaining what the call was, and it's 5 yards, which brings Cascade to a 2nd and kind of a long 2 to go.
For those of you looking at the huddle there, you see the number 87, Jeff Bunton, broke his foot and is going to be out. That's Adam Snell wearing that number. The last few games, Snell has been 84. Tonight, he's 87, and we'll certainly see that number a lot.
All right, ready for the 2nd down play with short yardage, so anything is possible on this call. In motion goes Butler. Hand off to Ward. And Ward trying for the 1st down. I don't think he quite got there. Had to get just a foot or so beyond the 40, and the stopper was Ben Reed.
Here we see Cascade season leaders as they're stopped on 3rd down. Pugmire doing a pretty good job passing this year, only when he needs to. Grant is #1 receiver. Butler, Holloman, and Ward all fairly equal in yardage. They all average over 7 yards a carry.
There's an important play. 3rd down and a short yard to go. And they come up with the wideouts to either side and 2 backs abreast in the backfield. Long count. Handoff given to Ward. Ward bucking over his right tackle position. Good drive blocking, Kurt, and he gets a 1st down with a couple of yards to spare.
Good job. The last lineman down off that pile, Dan Moore, playing well. And Cascade ran that play against an 8-man front. If you look at Kamiak on that short yardage, they had linebackers up. The only 3 guys were the 3 defensive backs deep, a safety and 2 corners. Everyone else on the line of scrimmage. They got some big boys in there, over 300 pounds.
1st and 10 at the Cascade 45-yard line. No score, 9 minutes to play, 1st quarter. Again, Snell resetting as the left side tight end. Here's a wide play, and they won't let Holloman go. Somebody got him by the jersey, and it was Ben Reed, number 63. And also Matt White was in there, number 59.
Well, we're going to see a couple of Cascade blockers pulling. Reed does a good job of just coming across the line of scrimmage. You can see him right there in your picture. There you go, and he grabs the back of Holloman, and good wrist strength. That's why you like to get those guys in there lifting those weights so they get their hand strength. Helps them in this game quite a bit.
A stocky linebacker is Ben Reed, and here's the next play with Pugmire wanting to pass, may run, he's tripped, 2nd man puts him down, and it's going to be a loss on the play.
Eric Wheeler, the most responsible for it. He's a defensive end, a junior at 202 pounds.
Jansen in there to chase Pugmire out of the pocket. Wheeler does the job finishing it up, getting that sack. Big series for Kamiak.
And it's 3rd down and 15 to go here, and into the Cascade huddle comes number 5, Tim Grant. He's got instructions from the side. Out goes J.J. Butler. Okay, Grant comes as a way wide flanker to the left side. Back for a straight drop, and that pass goes to Grant, and he's got it. Apparently a good catch, and it's right at the first down yardstick. And it's waved on as a first down by the officials. Boy, that was close though.
Grant gets out wide. Kamiak playing a cover 3, only 3 deep. Grant gets in between the corner and the safety. The pass is right on the money, right where he needs to put it. Pugmire, a pitcher in baseball, shows his accuracy on that one.
Well, that was knee high on the outside corner. 1st and 10 inside the Kamiak 45. Still no score in the game. And here's a handoff to Butler. Big hole. Breaking a tackle. Cutting into the open. Now turns on the speed. Walters after him. Gets him down around the 20-yard line. Maybe inside it.
Boy, a couple of great things on that play, Rod. Some good blocking right at the point of attack, then some good downfield blocking. But most of it was Butler keeping his feet driving. You see the pulling guards here, Bissell there in front, and Butler stops, reads his field, and then just explodes through the blockers and past the tacklers there. Little nifty running to get out of that one tackle. 29 yards on that play.
It was 16, Josh Walter, who saved the bacon of Kamiak on the tackle. All right, here's the 1st and 10 play from the 16-yard line. Make it the 17 to be accurate. And there's Billy Ward, and nowhere to go. Boy, that was a good left side defensive line surge by Kamiak.
Again, the first couple guys there, number 63, Reed was there, the big number 68, Garrett, and then finishing it off, Jansen.
Talking about big, Garrett at number 68, 6'6", and 312 pounds.
They're tough to run inside on. They've got 2 big guys anchored right in the middle, and they're pretty agile players. They're going to try and force Cascade to the outside on this wet turf.
Butler comes out, 2 wideouts, 1 to either side, Gaffney and Grant. This is 2nd down and 10. Pugmire straight drop back to pass. Throws, got a man. Holloman makes a great catch, and he's down at the 1-yard line. How about that one, Kurt?
Well, right from the start, excellent protection up front. Pugmire back there, got to stand back there all day. You're going to see it right here. Just a 5-step drop. He's back in the pocket. Look at how much time he's got and how much vision he's got. Nice strike just over the shoulder of Holloman. Holloman stretches out for it, almost got into the end zone. 15-yard pass play, just beautifully executed by the entire team.
So now it's 1st and goal at the 1. Obviously a great opportunity for Cascade. And there you get a look at those troops in the front line. Snell resets to make the strength go to the right side. Here comes a pitch to the right side and a great flip-up tackle by Larter, Chris Larter, number 42, and Holloman couldn't get there.
Larter, I think, reading that play, can tell by the alignment of the Cascade, they like to pitch out that play quick there down by the goal line, just shooting across the line of scrimmage, getting some penetration and tripping up the running back. Cascade, what a scary thought, a Cascade team that can throw.
Now we got 3 backs in the backfield. The handoff to Billy Ward, and he powers into the end zone. Boy, talk about your straight-ahead drive blocking, Kurt. That was it again.
Well, we've talked about the diversity of Cascade being able to run inside and run outside. Now we get to throw in the mix the ability to throw the pass, play action pass off those runs, and boy, that is a knockout punch. They used all 3 of those on that drive.
Pugmire threw 3 touchdown passes last week, and this was close. Got him down to the 1-yard line, and should have been easy to score from there, and sure enough, it was fairly easy. This is Smoke to kick the extra point. Oh, he slipped, but he got enough into it, and it's down the middle to make the score 7-0. That was quite a drive, Kurt.
That was an 11-play drive, 70 yards, started on their 30-yard line after that short punt, and Cascade emphasized that this is their home field by taking their first drive and putting some points on the board.
You know, kind of a worrisome thing there on Smoke's extra point kick. Kurt, his plant foot really went out from under him on the kick, and that could be a problem as the game wears on, and it's getting torn up a little bit in the middle of the field right now. But he gets a good kickoff away again. It's going to be taken by Walter at the 8-yard line. Again, fake, same fake on the crisscross. This time it doesn't hurt for so much. And he's knocked across the sideline between the 15 and the 20, I believe, by Jose Prieto. There's a little guy we talked about, and Briel Loizo, number 9, was there as well.
Loizo that time doing a good job of keeping the number 16 Walter bracketed in, and then Prieto closing from the inside towards the outside. They were able to sandwich him and keep him from the big game.
Okay, they set up with a pro set, wideouts to either side here. Momentary delay while they get the yardsticks on the sideline figured out. And a quick pass that's incomplete to Wheat, the flanker, who's number 2, kind of a tall and skinny kid at 6'2" and 162 pounds, but he's one of the experienced seniors.
Wheat has caught 11 balls this year for over 100 yards. He's got an 11-yard average. Twice tonight the ball has been close. Once it was just a drop, and the other one was a little more difficult, but still Kamiak has yet to complete their first pass.
2nd and 10 at the 17-yard line. And off to the big fullback, and Jansen's got a first down and more. He explodes off the left side of his own line with good blocking, and he's up across the 30, I believe. Depends on the exact spot.
Just a veer dive off the outside. He sees it's designed to go a little bit inside. He sees a hole outside. He has the speed. He runs a 4.7, 4.8, which is pretty good for a guy that size, before Lundvall's able to bring him down deep in the Cascade defensive backfield.
A 15-yard advance. Now here's a wide play, and carrying the ball is Washington, and he kind of hurdles the tackler, and he's up for about a 15-yard gain near the 50.
Terry Ennis is not going to be happy on that play. Washington showing why he was so successful last week, getting well over 100 yards on 8 carries. We're going to see it. Quick pitch to the outside. Cascade just misses some tackles here. They've got one chance there, another chance there, 2 there, and find 3. Finally closing from the inside is they're able to bring him down 17 yards on that play. Lundvall finally saving the touchdown.
Line of scrimmage is the 49. Here's a fake one way, then a wide play with Walter, the wingback, carrying. And he's got good yardage, and down the sideline he goes, finally knocked out of bounds when it looked like he might have a chance to go the distance. Joe Gaffney made the saving brush block kind of tackle, knocking him out.
Pretty good play there, a fake pitch, and then they hand it back underneath to Walter coming across. Prieto gets pinned inside. He's there to keep containment. You see Terry Ennis right there looking a little frustrated, trying to figure out what he can do. Cascade just not getting in the right spots, not wrapping up the tackles when they have the opportunity.
That was a 14-yard pickup. They're knocking it off in big chunks here, but it's still 7-0 Cascade with 4 minutes plus to play in the first quarter. Long count by Fletcher. Now Nick gives it off, and carrying the ball is Josh Jansen, and he is down for another big chunk of yardage inside the 20. Be a first down with plenty to spare.
Not a fancy play. As we look at it again here, we're going to see the right guard pull. It's a trap. Right up the middle goes Jansen. Once he gets up in there, he gets a head of steam. He's tough to bring down. Gets another 5 yards after Gaffney hit him.
Well, Jansen is 6'1" and 210 pounds, and a great two-way player. See what they do on a 1st and 10 here at the 18-yard line of Cascade. Back to pass Fletcher. There's a flag. He throws incomplete. A quick out to the sideline toward Walter.
Walter goes incomplete. A penalty marker on the play.
He had some sort of illegal motion on Kamiak before the ball was snapped. It's an automatic 5-yarder for him.
In other words, Cascade doesn't have an opportunity to even turn down the penalty, right?
If I say right, will you promise not to argue with me?
No, God, no. Well, you say it's, before the snap. Apparently.
Yeah. I think that Cascade probably has an opportunity, but they're not going to. Kamiak knocking on the door here inside Cascade's 20-yard line with first down. Now they're just outside the 20. But this is the best drive I've seen against the Cascade Bruins all year.
This time they line up in the I formation. Fletcher, the quarterback. Washington on the wide play. They string it out, knock him down for very little gain, if any. And the first player there was Corey Ackles, number 42, who's the safety.
Corey Ackles does a good job of coming out. He's got Josh Wright, the 6'6", 297-pounder, coming out pulling. You see him there in the huddle. He just dwarfs the rest of the players. But Ackles doing a good job of just maintaining outside containment. He plays off Wright's block and able to bring down the running back Washington.
Well, their messenger play caller is Ty Copp. I love that name, C-O-P-P. Change them to B's and you've got one of the all-time great names in athletics. Anyway, it's Ty Copp, not Cobb. He's 20. Fletcher, long count on second down and 14. And there goes Jansen again up the middle with that trap blocking. He's inside the 10-yard line and close to a first down.
Jansen is just difficult to bring down. You see it again. Watch how quickly he gets through the line of scrimmage. Good job of blocking the linebackers. Ward gets taken out. Lundvall gets taken out. And then Jansen does the rest. Gaffney seeing that big man coming down at him a couple times this evening. Cascade is going to have to shut down that middle if they want to be successful.
And he's got that forward lean. Boy, that's tough running. It's going to be third down and a short yard to go. And a timeout taken by Cascade to talk things over. Well, they shut him down of 3 and out the first possession, but this time it's a different story. I guess all it took was for the Bruins to score, and wham.
Well, I know that I had the question on my mind, and a couple other folks that I talked to this week is Kamiak for real? So far this year, they've dominated every team they played. But yet none of them are real contenders. Cascade, ranked number 6 in the state, is a bona fide contender. But now we're getting to see that Kamiak is for real. They've got some good talent. They've got a great scheme, a well-balanced offense, and it looks like they've got some pretty strong leadership. Some of those guys have been playing varsity football for 4 years. They really have a great drive going.
Well, the timeout period is just about over. There you see the Knights coming back to their, they make a formal huddle or go right to the line of scrimmage. It looks like they go right up to the line of scrimmage with their play call. Third down and a short yard to go, and they're just inside the 10-yard line. Now just a single back behind the quarterback. They've got 2 wideouts left and 1 right. Fletcher again with a rather long count. Gives it off. There's Jansen bucking his way to the 5. First down with a few yards to spare. And they're setting up with a first and goal coming.
Right behind big Josh White. See Jansen coming back to the line for the huddle. There's Josh White there. 6'6", 300 pounds. A couple of colleges are looking at him. Possible scholarship candidate.
Number 44, by the way, is the tight end, and he's kind of a small tight end. That's Sam Humble at 5'11", 196, and a junior. Okay, here's first and goal just inside the 5-yard line. Fletcher gives off to Jansen. There he goes. He scores. Looked kind of easy.
You got a ball game here, Rob.
7-6 at the moment. Now the question is, who's going to kick for Kamiak? They've used 2 extra point kickers. Looks like Darren Hansen, number 5, will do the booting on this occasion. They also have Ethan Lunds, who has kind of shared the duties. So anyway, it's going to be Walter holding. Darren Hansen, a senior at 5'7", 140 pounds, kicking, and it's good. So it is a new ball game. It's 7-7. Time to play. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. It's going to be number 10, Ethan Lund's kicking off.
Kamiak's drive impressive as well as Cascade's. Kamiak's drive 83 yards in 11 plays.
It's a high, fairly short kick. It's going to be, taken, picked up. And they're going to say that he was down. His knee was down at the same time. That's Mario Anderson, number 25, who had a little trouble handling it. Picked it up when he was on his knee, apparently. There he comes off the field, kind of shaking his head. Knows that he can do better than that.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
All right, let's see where the line of scrimmage is going to be, the 13-yard line. See what Pugmire cooks up. There's the tight end Snell resetting. And here comes Butler. Butler breaking into the secondary. He's got a couple of people to beat, and he couldn't beat them, but a big game. A lot of ground offense in this ball game tonight. Butler with that quickness, stopped by Ty Cobb.
We're going to see this play again. Butler, even though the ground is wet, you see him there following the pole. Even Pugmire's out there blocking for him. This is what Butler does so well. He sees the field, cuts back against the grain, looking for that one little sliver of daylight. Kamiak's cop able to dive and catch his feet and knock him out from under.
Now here's a wide toss, and again, Holloman has a problem with that one. His feet go out from under him just as he took the toss and attempted to move upfield. So it's going to be a substantial loss on first down there. 4 yards from the 31 back to the 27.
To stop that outside play, Kamiak has got their guys coming across the line of scrimmage, not just waiting for those outside tosses to come to him, but actually attacking them, forcing Holloman to have to make a decision and a cut as soon as he gets the ball. And on this surface, that's going to be trouble for him.
Gaffney came in to replace Snell. Don't know if that indicates a pass is coming. Could. There's Butler going in motion. Pugmire with the fake, rolling out left, wants to throw. Oh, what a hit and what a catch to hang on for a substantial gain up to the 36-yard line, but still way short of a first down.
Again, excellent protection, a play action up the middle. You roll to the left. Pugmire doing a good job of firing that ball to Holloman. Even though he's running to his left, the right-handed quarterback, that's not an easy throw, but he throws another strike.
Well, it's a critical distance to go here on third down. 3rd and about 6. Just past the 35-yard line. Well, may not get a playoff here. It's 7 seconds and counting. And Cascade took it to those nice, beautiful white uniforms of Kamiak are getting very muddy. And here's that critical 3rd down and 6 play coming up here for the Bruins. Pugmire to pass. Being chased and being down for a big sack loss. First man to him was Mayhews. That's number 58, the defensive tackle. And it brings up a situation where Cascade has to punt.
Well, that's what you call a coverage sack. I looked down the field as Pugmire was looking down the field to find an open receiver. No one was open. Excellent coverage by Kamiak.
Now, finally, we get the end of the first quarter. So, at the moment, with TCI's game of the week in the second period. And it's Billy Ward, the punter, and it's Walter, the receiver, a single man back for the Knights. Kick away, end over end, bouncing, good Cascade bounce across the 35 and down to the 30-yard line. They just stay away from it, a little difficult to handle. So the Knights, after that great drive they had last possession, figured, wow, 30-yard line, nothing wrong with that.
Well, Cascade is going to have to short up. Cascade got hurt really badly in the middle, up the middle with Jansen on the last drive. They probably talked about a little bit on the sidelines about how to shut that down. A good punt, 41 yards, gives them fairly decent field position to defend.
White is the wide out left, Walter to the right. Two backs remain in the running back position. The fullback's the one right behind the quarterback, Fletcher. He's the one who's been doing all the damage, and he gets it again. And this time they rack him up. For a change, they were ready for Jansen, and a very short gain.
Corey Axline meets Jansen right in the backfield along with Ackles. Axline 5'10", 250 matches up pretty well with Jensen there, taking him right on at the line of scrimmage and shutting that off.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. The man on the end closest to you there is 44, the tight end, Sam Humble. Fletcher, the big quarterback at 6'2" and 220-something pounds. Back to pass. Fires, got Wheat, and a possible first down. It's right at the forward yardstick. And so after some unsuccessful passes, they finally connect on one.
Well, Kamiak has a pretty good pass completion. They've thrown 81 times, completed 46. That's just under 60%. So they're gonna, if they keep firing, they're gonna complete one. That was Wheat, who redeemed himself, catching one that was right in his hands. He dropped one a little bit earlier. Holloman finally on the stop.
It's at the 41-yard line, 1st and 10. Only one running back remaining. That's the fullback Jansen. And he gives off on a semi-delay. And look at Jansen keep those legs driving. He's got a gain of at least 6 yards, maybe a bit more.
Axline met him again. We'll see the replay. Axline hits him at the line of scrimmage, but Jackson, as he comes through the line, boom, he gets hit right there. But then he drags Axline another 7 yards before he's finally brought down.
That really takes gang tackling to bring the big guy down. It's a short 3 yards to go on 2nd down here. Wheat is the wide out left. He's at the very bottom corner of your screen. Fletcher waiting, finally gets it, gives off to the fullback Jansen. First down, got another 5 or 6 yards on that carry. Talk about your smash mouth football. That's it when Jansen is the guy. And Kelly Olson, who's fairly big for Cascade, makes a stop. He's 5'10", 190.
Well, this was what concerned Terry Ennis. A night like tonight, they have success running up the middle that doesn't take great footing to do that. They've just up front, Cascade has got to dig in.
And there he goes again, this time veering off right guard. Hit at the line of scrimmage, but still manages to make a couple of yards.
That's the other thing right there, Rod, that we saw Cascade do. Dan Moore hitting Jansen first, and then 3 or 4 other guys coming in finally with Ackles cleaning up. But Cascade is going to have to gang tackle this guy. They're going to have to flow to the ball, get there quick, and no one take for granted that the first guy is going to bring Jansen down.
7-7 is the score early in the 2nd quarter. 2nd and almost 7 to go. Straight drop back. Now he wants to fire. Got a man, Wheat. And they call it, they say he trapped it. Wheat doesn't think so, but the ball definitely scooped into his hands, and it's an incomplete pass.
Close call there. The ball looked like it bounced off the ground there before Wheat had possession of it. It was just a good effort for Fletcher to get the ball up. Bunton in there on him first. Excuse me, not Bunton, but Snell in there on him first. And Fletcher forced out of the pocket. Had to throw off his back foot and wasn't able to get the ball downfield. Wheat was wide open.
3rd down and 7. Roll out for a potential pass or run. Fletcher fires it and incomplete. Well, he was just off target that time, evidently meaning it for Wheat down the sideline, but it brings up 4th down. They're not close enough to go for it or try a field goal or anything. They're clear out at the 43-yard line. So dropping back to punt will be their fullback. Fletcher, I beg your pardon, the quarterback Fletcher, and it's going to be J.J. Butler as the receiver. Now the kick is a squibber kind of down along the ground and rolls dead inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. So that leaves Cascade with a long field to go here, second quarter, with 8 minutes and 42 seconds to go in the period. Still 7-7.
Both teams are used to scoring a lot of points in the first quarter. And looking through the stats, Kamiak, who's from Mukilteo and not Mill Creek, I made that mistake earlier, has been good at scoring in the first quarter. Both teams only 7 points each in the first quarter, and nothing so far in the second quarter. Neither team's offense has been able to get off track.
There's a fumble on the play as Ward carried the ball. Was it Holloman on the carry? Well, evidently Cascade retains possession. The gain is a short one. See when they spot it. Well, give him about 3 yards on the play. And here goes Gaffney sprinting into the huddle, carrying a play. Out comes Grant.
These type of games with talented teams, it may come down to who makes the most mistakes as to who will end up being defeated. Cascade cannot afford to turn the ball over.
Here goes Butler again, and he's got a first down. JJ been the most effective runner for Cascade tonight, and he's got it across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
You see JJ there coming back to the huddle. He's got a little cast on his finger. He's got a broken bone in that hand, but it doesn't look like it slowed him down. JJ using his leg drive, he's able to stop and start and change direction even on a field like this evening, and that's what gives him the advantage.
First down at the Cascade 33. Oh, and there's the tight end Snell broke through the imaginary plane there at the line of scrimmage, and that's going to cost Cascade 5 yards. He just beat the snap count.
That's one of those things that can hurt you. Cascade so far this year has 270 yards in penalties, and the opponent's only 215, so they're in the minus category on that statistic.
Holloman goes as a wide out to the right side. Pugmire giving it off up the middle. Billy Ward with a nice drive, but remember they've lost 5 yards on the penalty. So while he gains 6 or 7, they're still going to leave him with a long way to go. Carlos Cruz, number 91 of Kamiak, was the first man to him.
Ty Kopp also in there to wrap Ward up. Ward is the workhorse on that Cascade offense. Ward has rushed this year for the most yards of any rusher. The Cascade right up there, 340 yards. Holloman 341.
Second down and 8 at the 35. And Pugmire to pass. Good protection. Fires. It was in the hands of Butler, but the defender was right there, Joel Alinen, and he kind of contested with him. And remember that hand that Kurt talked about.
You're going to see it. Butler, this is right to his outside shoulder. Butler has to, again, great protection, but Butler has to get that hand out with the cast on it. Oh, if he didn't have the cast on, might have been able to pull that one in.
Yeah, that's not the right hand to make a one-handed catch with. Third down and 8. Holloman is the wing back right. Drop back, quick out, and on the ground as he receives the ball is receiver Gaffney. So it's going to be a nice little gain, but it still brings up fourth down and about 4, and they'll have to punt. Again, it's the slippery field creating the problem there. You see 80 is Gaffney. So Ward goes back to punt. Walter goes back to receive.
And a good defensive stand there by Kamiak.
Good snap. Plenty of time to get the punt away. Nice punt, too. And a fair catch called for by Walter between the 30 and the 35. Let's call it the 32 in Kamiak territory. No, this is approximately the same place they began their last possession.
Pretty even ball game thus far. Cascade goes down on their first possession, scores. Kamiak comes right back with a 83-yard drive in 11 plays to score, and now they've just been trading punts since then.
Fletcher with that long count. And the give to the tailback, and I'm not sure who that was. Might have been Washington. At least he didn't get very far. And that was number 19, Darius Washington, on the carry.
Adam Pacheco, the other small linebacker in their 5'5", 160, getting across that line of scrimmage and making that stop deep in the backfield.
Wheat goes wide right, Walter wide left, leaving Washington and Jansen the remaining backs. And there's a quick pass to Wheat. Wheat's got it for a short gain. No, that's Ty Copp who's in there rather than Wheat. Number 21 usually plays safety on defense, but in there in an offensive wideout position. No, the gain was up to the 38-yard line, bringing up third and a long 5.
You saw a little bit of the arm strength there of Fletcher. Just a quick ball on a rope from a 3-step drop, and then just release it to Copp, who was in front of the defender.
Now Copp has left the field, and Wheat is in at that right wideout position. And there's the pass to him, and he makes the catch and holds on despite a heck of a good tackle by Holloman. Really dumped him, but that's good holding on, Kurt.
Wheat has a height advantage. You see here, he goes up for the ball. He's in front of Holloman. Wheat at 6'2", getting up in the air a little bit. Good job holding on to the football. He's going to hit the ground hard.
Well, it's spongy tonight, as we mentioned, Kurt. Time to play, 5 minutes and 15 seconds of the second quarter. Still 7-7. 1st and 10 here. Fletcher passes, complete over the middle for another first down, or did he?
Nick Fletcher's pass intended
right through his hands, Rob.
Yeah.
Almost intercepted that time by Ackles.
Corey Ackles, number 42.
I thought I saw an official give the signal for a catch, but I misread it, to tell you the truth. Anyway, goes in an incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Ball right at the Kamiak 45-yard line. This time Walter lines up as a wingback to the left. Wheat is the wideout right. There's a reverse to Walter. Walter tries to go wide, goes nowhere instead, and that play just wasn't destined for success.
Great job that time by Prieto, and also coming from the inside was Ward, but Prieto keeping the outside shoulder contained there. Terry Ennis on the sideline nodding his head, talking to one of his coaches, saying we played that one right.
Okay, it's going to be 3rd down and 11 at the 44. You would sort of expect Fletcher to unlimber that passing arm. And one remaining back. Well, here's a trips left, Kurt. You mentioned that they were going to wind up in that position. Here's a quick pass to the side, and almost a lateral. It was to Washington, incomplete. Cascade had it pretty well figured anyway, had the pass been complete.
Well, Kamiak lines up in that trips left. They've got Walter out there with Wheat, as well as another receiver, Copp, and tried to throw it to one of them. That leaves 2 guys out there that are blockers. It's like a quick short screen. If you can get the pass completed, it's a tough one to defend.
Fletcher to punt, J.J. Butler to return. And the ball comes back on a bounce, but the left-handed, left-footed Fletcher gets it away. It's going to roll out of bounds between the 30 and the 35-yard line in Bruin territory.
Well, plenty of time for a drive here, Rod. 4 minutes left, and This is a big psychological advantage where whatever team could go in with the lead at halftime. This has been a very even ball game thus far. No one dominating at any point.
Each team has had one good long drive for a score. Aside from that, not that much. The defenses are finally catching up with the offenses. Bugmeyer waiting for the snap. Hands off to Ward. Ward is met. Bango. Number 59. That's Matt White.
Goes over left guard.
Who's the man who got him.
Stop for no gain.
No gain on that play when it looked like a little hole, but the linebacker just really filled.
See Ward there kind of scratching his head a little bit, saying who was supposed to block him. Someone just missing their block, leaving him right there, White that is, to make the stop uncontested.
Quick drop out to Gaffney. Gaffney gets to the 40, short of the first down by 2 or 3 yards. And it's going to bring up third down and short, but difficult
About 5
short.
yards for the Bruins.
Pretty good play here. Pugmire getting the ball out to Gaffney. Holloman runs to the inside. You'll see him come across your screen there, right there, and pulls the defenders away. That leaves Gaffney wide open to the outside, makes the catch. However, closing on him quickly is Walter and number 48, Jansen.
Okay, third down and 3. The ball at the 39-yard line. The fullback, Ward, he only gets a yard at most. Nothing there. Oh boy, that fullback play on the trap by Cascade that has brought them so many yards over the years just did not open up on that play when they needed the 3+ yards.
Well, it didn't open up because the defensive line there for Kamiak, number 63 in particular, Reed, was closing down on a stunt coming down across the face of the guy who was supposed to block and was able to close that off.
Okay, Josh Walter, one of the 3 big Joshes for Kamiak, that is, goes back to return the punt of Billy Ward. Good snap. Plenty of time to get the kick away. It's going to bounce in front of Walter. He's going to let it fall dead at the 22-yard line. Well, Cascade gained a little bit in the exchange of punts, about 10 yards worth, Kurt. Those little things tell sometimes.
Well, they do. They're running out of time, however. Just a little bit over a minute left. Kamiak doesn't even huddle up. They get right on the field and run their first play.
Well, maybe they'll run a series. Fletcher, the big quarterback, has trips right, throws the other way, intercepted by number 9 of Cascade. That's Briel Loizo.
Excellent job. We're going to see the replay. Loizo reads this play. They get trips right. You see Loizo right there in your screen. They have one receiver over to the left. Right away, the quarterback looks over. Loizo reads it. The receiver is not turned around. That's Wheat. And Loizo sees the ball coming. Wheat doesn't. Loizo steps in front and gives Cascade an opportunity to take the lead.
Nice camera work there, guys. You bet. Okay, a minute and 47 to go. It is for the first half, and there's a fumble on the exchange, and the referee immediately gives a signal that Kamiak has recovered.
Is this an even ball game or what? We have one long drive for a touchdown by Cascade. Kamiak comes back, long drive the other way, right following that one, and then they trade punts, and pretty soon Cascade gets a turnover, and right away Kamiak gets one back.
And Kamiak has a minute and 40 to go in the half to see if they can score.
Other side.
Flubbed opportunity by Cascade there on the first down mishandling between the center and quarterback. You got wideouts to either side for the Knights. And the fullback up the middle. There goes Jansen. He's a quick one to that line of scrimmage, Kurt, and he's got about 8 yards. Stopped by Corey Ackles.
Jansen just coming off the right guard and center, double teaming down on the nose guard. The nose guard for Cascade is Adam Pacheco, 5'5", 160 pounds. You've got Adam Pacheco in there trying to take up that middle. A couple of big linemen just crushing him. Pacheco's heart is huge, but you got to have a little bit of an anchor too.
Actually, he's only about a yard to go for the first down here, and Fletcher's going to pass, and he's going to go for it all. It's well defended by Holloman, and it's out of bounds anyway. Incomplete.
Holloman doing a good job of running step for step. That time with Walter. Walter, another favorite of Fletcher.
All right, we'll take a quick break here with the score tied 7-7 second quarter. Well, that man right there, 48, Jansen, just broke off right tackle, veered to the outside, and went for a first down across midfield to the Cascade 48-yard line. That was a 17-yard run.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Timeout called by Kamiak. There's only 1 minute left in the ball game. Certainly with first down, they've got plenty of time to mount a drive for a touchdown.
Yeah, well, of course, both these teams can look forward to the second half. Incidentally, you remember that Cascade kicked off to start the game, so they'll get the ball at the outset of the second half.
You can tell we're in football weather here, Rod. You see the breath rising above and the steam coming off. It's a little chilly out there tonight.
Yeah, it makes us feel better up here in our enclosed booth, doesn't it, Kurt?
It does. It's we're not wet and dirty and cold. Certainly not cold.
All right, after the timeout, Kamiak comes up with a 1st and 10 at the Cascade 48-yard line. They send 2 wideouts to the left side. That's Wheat and Walter. 1 to the right as well. Looks like they got kind of a double slot formation. And here's the quick lateral, and Wheat wants to throw the ball downfield, and he throws it not accurately, intending it for Walter.
Wheat didn't have enough time to throw it downfield. Walter possibly could have been open. Corey Ackles in the coverage. However, Loizo was right out there with Wheat to put some pressure on, not give him enough time to get that ball off.
Well, it's not an unknown play to throw the wide, slightly backwards pass, which makes the man who receives it still eligible to throw one forward downfield. Anyway, didn't work. Second down, 10 yards to go. Didn't take much time on the clock. Fletcher to the right. Got a man, and he drops the ball. Yeah, was that... Now that was Josh Jansen, the fullback.
Just heard the footsteps of the defender coming. Wasn't able to hold on the ball. Was thinking about running before he got that ball in there. One of the fundamentals of pass receiving. Catch that ball first, run then.
Well, here's one of those critical third down plays. Fletcher hands off on a draw to Jansen. He avoids 1 tackler. 2 more pin him in, and he did not get a first down. He's 3 yards short of it at the 42 of Cascade. And with 38 seconds and counting, Kamiak has a 4th down, and now a timeout is taken by Kamiak.
Interesting draw play. That time Fletcher comes back. Jansen is sitting in a blocking position. Instead of handing it off in front of him, to Jansen, the quarterback Fletcher comes around behind him, sticks it in his stomach from behind to try and shield the handoff. And Jansen, who's been very successful not tricking anybody, just saying, here's the ball, try and stop me. That time a little trickery got him some good yardage.
I guess you'd call that the wraparound draw handoff, huh?
There you go. That's probably what it says in the playbook. But they certainly executed it well.
After the timeout, 35 seconds to go, 4th down and a long 3. Closer to 4, I guess. They're coming up in a regular running or passing formation. Cascade seems ready for it, however. get to the 38 to get their first down. As Fletcher back, throws down the middle, incomplete, just a little bit too high for the receiver to handle. That was Walter.
Kamiak was the defender on the play.
So,
Ball turns over.
go ahead, Kurt.
Doing a pretty good job of getting open, stepping right in front of Ackles. Ackles closing in on him, but Walter, the ball goes right out of his hands. It just looks like Fletcher is not quite on the mark this evening. Pugmire actually looking a lot stronger in his accuracy throwing the football.
All right, let's see what Cascade does with 31 seconds remaining in the first half. First and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Pass, Pugmire guns it. Beautiful catch to Gaffney at the 42-yard line. They'll stop the clock while they reset the yard marker sticks. And 27 seconds to go. That didn't take long. Oh, did they take a timeout? Yeah, Cascade took a timeout. Defender away with his body. The pass was right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll want to watch the replay of tonight's exciting Southern Division.
Carl Nichols, who's back working with us as our statistician and spotter tonight, indicates that he knows that's Cascade's last timeout that they've burned.
We talked about that timeout they called right before the end of the first quarter, and this is why you wonder if you don't waste those when you do that, because now they could certainly use another one with only 27 seconds left and just now breaking into Kamiak territory.
Yeah, you got to wonder about even if they could get set up for a field goal if they get close enough. It would take them some time to get the kicker in there and get set up. Well, 27 seconds to play. See what Pugmire does here. Pass. In the middle, intercepted. This could be lots of trouble. Down the sidelines, 40, 35, blockers. They're pinning him in. He gets to the 7-yard line. It was Ty Cobb who made the interception. 14 seconds to go as they stop the clock on the change of possession. And they're marking it close to the 5-yard line. Looks to be about the 6.
A lot of celebration going on the Kamiak side, but Cascade, Terry Ennis not happy. Terry is one of those guys who doesn't like to throw the football. He says, you know, if you throw the football, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them aren't good. And that's one of them right there, the interception, and then the 65-yard return. And Kamiak doing a good job of not clipping anybody on that return. But finally, was able to pull down Kopp and save the quick 7 points. Kamiak now has 14 seconds to try and get on the board.
Kopp is one of their experienced seniors. He's a starting free safety on defense and occasionally plays the wide receiver spot. So he was obviously playing that center field free safety on that play and made good use of his speed and picked up some pretty decent downfield blocking along the way as well. Well, they don't have much time to play with here, Kamiak Knights, and they're about, call it 7 yards away. It's on the 7-yard line. First and goal, of course. There's number 9, Fletcher. 48 right behind him is the big fullback who has scored once. That's Jansen. And it's a pass. Touchdown to Walter. Josh Walter from Nick Fletcher, and Fletcher's accuracy, as Kurt mentioned, had been off for a good portion of this first half, but he was right with it on that time.
Boy, what a big turnaround. This is what happens in these seesaw games where neither team is really dominating, and then all of a sudden you have a big play, a turnover, and those turnovers right there, that's a turnover that cost Cascade 6 points, maybe 7.
Well, they're using their alternate kicker this time, the left-footed Lunds, and it's no good. It's off to the right.
Could come back 13-7. We see right there Kamiak, but that extra point is a big point. If Cascade can score some other time in this ball game and put the extra point through, that's the 1-point difference. Those always have a tendency to come back and haunt you. Just a great pass play that time.
Fletcher to Walter. Walter at 6'1", 185 came across the face of the defender, shielded him out. The money, right on the money here as we see good protection, quick pass. Walter just diving inside of Ackles, bobbled the ball a little bit there, able to concentrate and bring it down for 6.
There's pretty much the same shielding away from the defender that Gaffney had done on a pass that Cascade threw a little bit ago.
Well, there's a couple different ways you can play that. You can either play him tight up on the line of scrimmage and try and force him so they don't have quite a run it, or you can your DBs or play off, let him get there and try and make contact when the ball reaches the receiver. That time Ackles is a little late getting there.
This time the kickoff man will be Darren Hansen. He incidentally kicked the first extra point successfully, but they used Ethan Lundz as on the second one, and he missed it. We've got J.J. Butler, the central receiver, and the ball is going to a short man. It's Mario Anderson at the 18, up across well, he's trying to reverse his field, get some running room. Can't do much. He's around the 30-yard line. 4 seconds to go. Did he fumble? Oh, my. Oh, talk about Ennis being unhappy. After all that, a fumble recovered by Kamiak, and they have 4 seconds to try something. We believe it was Brett Hawkinson, number 22, a little guy, 5'8", 145 pounds, who recovered. Okay, we've got wideouts to either side. 4 seconds to go, and Fletcher to pass. Pretty good protection. Throws over the middle. Incomplete. Well guarded by Ackles, as the man for whom it was meant was Walter, who caught the touchdown. Well, the first half is finally over. An eventful last few minutes with turnovers counting a great deal. Okay, 13-7. You see the score with the unbeaten Knights leading the unbeaten Bruins. We'll be back with some statistics on the first half and otherwise recapping it for you in a moment. So stay with us on TCI's Game of the Week.
Higher completion percentage. Pugmire is right on the money tonight. 6 of 8 for 66 yards. Kamiak 4 of 16, 30 yards, 1 interception. That's the turnover down there at the bottom you see, but again, we said they have a touchdown. 141 yards rushing, 108 of those by Jansen. Averages 7.6 yards a game throughout the year, even higher tonight at 9 yards a carry. 171 total yards for Kamiak, 129 for Cascade. 2 turnovers for Cascade down there close to the end zone when they were going in. Looked like they
Teams took the field and lined up at the wrong end. The officials are getting them squared away here. Cascade is moving from our left to right as you look at the screen. And of course, Kamiak will kick off with Cascade put in a strange position for them, coming from behind. See how they do.
I'm sure they had a little attitude adjustment in the locker room. Terry Ennis not one to mince words when he's a little frustrated. I'm sure that he was a little bit frustrated with the turnovers at the end of the first half.
Turnover on the kickoff, of course, didn't cost them anything, but it might have. Darren Hansen, number 5, is kicking off. Butler's back deep, and this one is going to one of the up man, and it's Holloman takes it on about the 17-yard line and breaks upfield nicely across the 35 where he's down.
Cascade not having to hurry up and score. This is a very close ball game. They're 2 field goals away from tying it, the touchdown extra point away from going in the lead. However, the first half was a game of field position, trading punts back and forth. Cascade gets the ball at their own 35, which is great field position to start a half.
Okay, they line up with all 3 backs in the backfield at the moment and don't shift, and they run a little crisscross with Holloman carrying to the left side, and he's pulled down after only about a 3-yard gain. Gets from the 36 to the 39. There's a fake to one of the backs going right, handed off to Holloman going left. He did gain 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Trying to run back up the middle, only not doing it straight ahead. Kamiak plays a 4-down line defense with 2 outside linebackers, 2 middle linebackers, and 3 deep. They have an 8-man front. Tough front to run against.
Tight formation for Cascade now with only 1 split end, and now here's Snell resetting as the tight end on the left side. And a rollout to the right by Pugmire. Has a man and throws, and a good catch made for a first down across the 50 by Snell, the tight end. And that was under pressure. The coverage was quite good by Ty Cobb.
Going to see this again. Pugmire fakes up the middle. Bissell out front to protect. Good job of looking down the field. Picks out his receiver. Right there is Snell. Hit right when he caught the ball. Able to keep it, pull it in for the big game.
Snell, of course, one of the big guys. He's 6'2.5" and 225. All right, 1st and 10, just across the 50. And there goes J.J. Butler, who's been very effective occasionally tonight, but he really hasn't carried the ball that many times. That's a gain of about 6. And here's a chair. Off the bench comes Tim Grant. Immediately goes to talk to Pugmire. He replaces Gaffney. That's a frequent change as they use those wideouts as messengers. Just into the 3rd quarter, Cascade trails by 6. It's a 6-yard gain in the previous play, 2nd and 4. There's the handoff up the middle goes Billy Ward, and I think he stopped a little bit short of the first down.
Cascade going on a quick count that time, trying to catch Kamiak off guard. They have a pretty quick pace going in this drive. Cascade coming out, coming right at Kamiak. A couple of misdirection run plays that time right up the middle, but the front line of Cascade doing a good job blocking, maintaining contact.
3rd down, about 1.5 yards to go to get the first. They have to get just across the 40-yard line. Here's the power play with Ward, and he's got the first down all right at about the 38 of Kamiak.
You see Ward popping up there. He got hit pretty hard on that. Jansen was there first. Wheeler was also there, and then coming in at the last minute to clean him up was Larder.
Josh Jansen, number 48 for the night.
Pretty good drive going here by the Bruins, and they need one. Split man to the right is Loizo. The rest of the team in tight. Now again, Snell goes to the other side to reset. And here's the handoff, carrying the balls. Butler breaks tackles. The flag goes down, however. He's going to run into the end zone, but it might come back. So hold everything if you're a Cascade rooter.
Yeah, the guy who threw the flag is coming back, pointing at it. I think it's going to be one of those holding calls or clipping, or one of those guys up front blocking.
Here comes the signal. Clipping, you bet. You had it. That would have been, oh my, those words, would have been a 38-yard touchdown run by Butler. But again, he shows that ability to pick his spots and to change direction quickly.
He does a great job of coming to the onside of the play, going through the point of attack, and then just widening his vision, seeing the creases and able to have enough quickness and speed to cut and go right through the crease. It's almost on a play like that, you almost wish the guy would have fell down. It wouldn't have been a good big gain, because then it's not so disappointing. You get excited about the touchdown, you have to come back and regroup, and that takes a lot out of you.
Now it's first down. Looks like about 23 or 24 to go for their first down. 3 backs in the backfield. Now they change it and put Holloman as a wing back right, the same side that the tight end was on. And here's the rollout left, setting up the pass, Pugmire, and he throws, he might have just thrown it away beyond everybody. The closest man there was Ward, the fullback, but he was well covered.
Good time again for Pugmire right at the last second. Matt White came in and was putting some pressure on, actually got a good hit on Pugmire, but Pugmire just not able to see an open receiver. Pretty good coverage defensively by Kamiak.
Now we've got second down and call it 23 to go. 9 minutes to play, third quarter. No change in the score from the half. 13-7, Kamiak on top. 2 undefeateds going at it tonight in a good shape. And there goes Ward into the open. He beats the last man. He's going down the sidelines looking for blockers, cuts back in, goes to the 20, and now down on the 18-yard line.
Ward, not the guy you think would be your breakaway runner. That's more Butler and Holloman's line of work. But that time Ward getting through. You see him busting through. Good job again by Cascade of maintaining their blocks, getting downfield to make some blocks. Here's Ward trying to cut back. That big lineman down there, that's number 63, Dinwiddie. A 31-yard gain by fullback Ward.
Again, a little shift in the backfield. Pugmire hands off. To the right side goes Butler. Butler's inside the 10, down to the 9 or 8-yard line for another first down, I believe.
Butler running with a lot of courage. Obviously that hand is not hurting him, either that or he's got so much adrenaline he doesn't feel it. Cascade's got a great drive going here. I hate to say it almost to jinx them, but they've got to make sure that there's no turnovers. They're in that red zone where they got to come away with some points.
Where it's finally spotted is the 7-yard line, so first and goal there. Snell resets on the left side. Here's a handoff. No, carrying the ball is Butler on again a change of direction play. A cut back to the 5, and he reaches the 4.
Butler brought down that time by Larder, just trying to cut back, not able to get across the face of that one defender. Shaking his head, a little frustrated. Cascade's got a great drive going here. Again, the importance of this drive, coming away with some points.
Holloman and Ward are the setbacks in the backfield. Here's a handoff to Ward. Ward to the goal line. He is in. Touchdown. Tie score at the moment. Extra point to come.
Quickly look at the field. See no flags. Cascade again comes out, obviously reacting to some sort of motivation given them in the locker room. Puts a great drive together.
Well, the blocking was superior on that drive, and of course the one pass play helped.
Their whole tempo seemed to be picked up on that play, getting to the line of scrimmage and back in the huddle.
Chris Smoke, who kicked to 1 extra point, will try to give his team a 1-point lead. Holder is Kirkpatrick. High snap. The ball's down. The kick is up. The kick is good. And sure enough, Cascade has taken the lead back by 1 single point. 14-13 with 7:30 to go in the third quarter.
Rod, you talked about the offensive line. You see him getting off the ball quick there. Coming off. Great drive. Good leverage. Watch the leg drive. You can see it in there. Everybody's legs are moving. That Kamiak defense is going backwards all the way into the end zone.
Incidentally, that was Holloman blocking and doing a heck of a job from the side that time. Okay, let's see if Cascade can hold Kamiak as the Knights will get their first turn in the third quarter. Yeah, that was mostly a fundamental football drive coming down the field to score that time.
Well, Terry Ennis, number one, is not a great fan of passing the football. He has had to talk himself into making sure that he keeps that as part of the game plan. You're not going to see a lot of long passes if he doesn't have to after that one interception, I don't think.
Smoke will kick. Walter, possibly one of the receivers. Now, goes right through his legs. He's going to have to pick it up back inside the 5, but makes a nice comeback and gets it out to almost the 20-yard line, depending on where he crossed the sideline on the far side of the field. And the man who ran it back, I think, is down at the sideline. There you see him. And they're working on his leg. What do you think about that, Kurt?
Well, it's never good to see those guys down. But most of the high school teams have pretty darn good. Oh, it looks like a cramp. Looks like
I was wondering.
Pull out a cramp there. It doesn't look like anything serious.
Well, in this cold, damp weather, I guess cramps can occur as well as in hot weather. And
well, they make sure that you drink a lot of fluids on the sidelines. It doesn't matter. You get a good sweat going. As you can see, the steam coming off of those players out there. They're hot inside those uniforms. So that's one reason you see the big coolers on the sidelines full of sport drink and water. And every time you come out the field, they're always encouraging you to drink more to replenish that.
Well, at least the way they're working on his leg, you know, it's not a truly disabling injury. At least you wouldn't think so. High school volleyball, Tuesday, the 29th. Yeah, Snohomish Panthers and Everett Seagulls. The cable cast will come up. More football. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Fletcher, the big quarterback, handing off. And here goes the big fullback, Jansen, going to the outside, breaking through tackles. What a runner he's been tonight. And clear up around the 30, make it the 31-yard line.
Well, right there you got to see what makes Jansen so tough. Not only does he have good vision to see the hole, but he's got a burst of speed to get to the outside. And then with that speed comes some strength. As you saw Loizo come up and try and tackle him, Jansen ran right through that tackle. Finally, it took Jose Prieto, the 5'5", 145-pound spark plug on this defense for Cascade, to bring him down.
Ready for the first down play at the 31. Fake to the fullback. Fletcher throws on the run. Catch is not made. Through the hands of the receiver, Darius Washington, from the backfield.
Good protection on that play. Just excellent coverage that time by Trent Holloman. Also down there was number 45, Lundvall, coming out from his linebacker position, able to knock the ball down.
Well, as you mentioned earlier in the halftime stats, individuals, Kurt, Fletcher has not had a great night for passing percentage, but at least he has a touchdown pass. This time he sets up his team with trips right. 2nd and 10. The handoff on the draw. Jansen this time has a man hanging on for dear life, and he stayed with him and made the tackle for perhaps a yard loss.
Boy, that was Prieto. We talked about him in the pregame, and we've seen Jansen run through some tackles, but that time Prieto comes up 5'5", 145, taking on Jansen 6'1", 210, and Prieto, who's one of the top 5 wrestlers in the state, gets him in one of his holds and has a 2-point takedown.
We're to the midpoint of the 3rd quarter. 14-13, Cascade leads. Here's a big 3rd down play, 11 to go. Roll out right, runner pass by Fletcher, throws, got a man there, makes the catch on his back for a first down. It's Wheat.
Well, it's a good thing for Cascade that that ball was thrown low and Wheat had to go down to the ground for it. You'll see it again. Here comes the quarterback, Fletcher, rolling out to the outside. Cascade in chase. But look, there's not one Bruin within 8 yards of Wheat. If Wheat catches that on the run, Cascade could be in big trouble.
Line of scrimmage is now the 45, still in the territory of the Knights. First down carry is by Jansen. This time they talk about the gang tackling they needed. They got it that trip.
One Bruin not in on that pile. Easier to name him than the other 11.
I noticed number 20, little Pacheco, is the other little guy right in there. Well, he did manage to squeeze out about 2.5, almost 3 yards. Call it a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Line of scrimmage is now the 47. Wideouts to either side and a man in the slot. The one remaining back is the fullback, Jansen. Fake to Jansen, roll out right, Fletcher throws low. He was harried by Prieto as he got it away, and the ball was thrown low, couldn't be handled.
Prieto coming from the backside, no one blocked him, he came free. Just couldn't get there quite early enough to make the sack, but was there on the back of the quarterback, Fletcher, quick enough to make Fletcher throw that ball short.
Another big pivotal play here, 3rd down and 7 at the Knights' 47-yard line. Trips left. Quick out. Pass is caught. Nice running by Jansen, and he he may have the first down. He's right at the forward yardstick.
Good play call. Excellent job by the other two wideouts who are out there in that trip set. Again, we talked about that earlier. That's almost like a short screen pass. You've already got 3 receivers out there. You drop one back, get him the ball. The other 2 go right away and start blocking. Cascade there with that one corner on that side and then the outside linebacker. If the blockers match up, you've got some running room.
Knows the ball just short of the Cascade 45. 1st and 10. Full back up the middle. There he goes for another 4 yards. Jansen stopped by a couple of people together. Dan Moore for 1.
Kamiak's offensive line doing a good job of getting on their blockers, and Jansen hitting the hole quickly. You see he's been working hard tonight. His jersey is dark, but there you see the offensive line up front there for Kamiak, getting in the face of Cascade's defensive line, and then Jansen just doing a good job of picking his holes.
Kopp is one of the wideouts to the right side. Wheat goes to the left. Here's the quick pass. Pitch out to Washington. He's got some running room. Darts forward across the first down marker. Gets almost to the 30 before he's put down.
Boy, Washington looked a lot like J.J. Butler on that play. Just turning on the speed to the outside. You see those guys as he comes around the outside. Right now as he turns the corner, all of a sudden you see a burst of speed like a rocket going up into that line. He has to turn around to try and avoid Lundvall. Lundvall does a good job of wrapping him up.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line of Cascade. Trailing by 1 point, the Knights are on the move. Tight end lines up on the left side. 2 backs in the running back position. Off fullback, up the middle he goes, breaking tackles, gets through for a gain of about 7, maybe 8 yards inside the 25. It's a tough drive. They're doing a nice job of it.
Boy, a lot of time used up on this drive as well. Only a little bit under 3 minutes left in this quarter. Cascade took up some time on their drive, but Kamiak mounting an excellent drive, coming back, using the run and the passes equally as well. Getting close to getting in that red zone where you want to come away with some points.
2nd and 2 at the 23-yard line. Washington lines up at left half. And there's a keeper by the quarterback that goes nowhere. Might have been dumped for a loss. There you see 21 Prieto getting up, and the submarining underneath is number 64 of Cascade, Kelly Olson, 190-pound junior.
Looked like a broken play on that run. Fletcher turning around, looking like he wanted to hand off to someone. Didn't quite look smooth enough. Then trying to turn around and go up the hole. Usually what you tell a quarterback is if the guy misses a handoff, you just run where he was supposed to, but there was nothing there.
3rd down, 2.5 to go. There's the fullback Jansen, 1st down, spins, gets a couple of extra yards. Actually, Cascade did a pretty good job of hanging on to him there. He didn't get a big gain, but they didn't need very much to get the first. And they mark his forward progress just a shade inside the 20-yard line. So they keep the drive going, 1st and 10. And the clock also keeps going with 1 minute and 27 seconds to play. Now the clock is signaled to go in motion again. Jansen, I think, is going to have all kinds of carries before the night's over. And here's a pass play, and it's caught inside the 10 for a 1st down. It was Sam Humble, the tight end. I think that's his first catch.
We're going to see it again here. Not a very well thrown ball, but it certainly is right to Humble, doing a great job of just turning around quick enough to get the ball and then holding on to it. Atlas puts a pretty good hit on it, but he's able to catch the ball in his hands, squeeze it and bring it in to put Kamiak inside the 10.
Call at the 8-yard line. 1st and goal. Team with the ball trails by a single point. There you see number 9 Fletcher. Right behind him is that powerhouse fullback 48 Jansen. Handoff this time to Washington. Washington through a hole at the right side. Doesn't get too much, but he's down around the 5-yard line. If he reached the 5, that would mean a 3-yard gain. And getting up a little slowly is the tight end Humble. In fact, he's having trouble getting up.
That's Ward for Cascade.
Wait a minute. Yeah, I see. It's Ward. I'm looking at the wrong number, 44. There's 44 Humble. And Ward's okay. Let's see, they mark it right at the 5-yard line, 2nd down, and the 3rd quarter has come to an end before they can run another play. So it's an even ball game between two undefeateds, and what do we got?
Well, look, you can see Kamiak, they're holding up 4 fingers. They're claiming that the 4th quarter is theirs. Looking forward to it.
Well, we shall soon find out about that. Let's take a quick break here. Back with the 4th quarter in just a moment on TCI's Game of the Week. Here tonight, and as play resumes to start the 4th quarter, it's going to be a 2nd and goal, and the line of scrimmage is right at the 5-yard line.
Excellent ball game so far. Relying on Jansen, Kamiak is 19 carries for 136 yards, and I have a feeling he's not done.
As a matter of fact, as I take a closer look, they've spotted the ball at the 4-yard line, so 2nd and goal at the 4. Fletcher trying to perhaps change the play at the line of scrimmage. Gives off to Washington. Washington struggling for yardage, and he didn't get very far at all. They stopped him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down. Remember, they certainly are in field goal range, and they have a choice of kickers. So let's see what happens in this play, because that's kind of getting ahead of myself.
Lundvall in on that stop. Casey Lundvall has really had a good game so far tonight. We've called his name a lot. He's plugged the holes up there for Cascade. Still, they're not able to slow down the fullback, Jansen.
Well, here's a timeout being called, and this is by the team with the ball, the Kamiak Knights, who go off to the sideline to talk with their head coach, Tim Meade. He, like the school, 4 years old in the job. Of course, the tape was played back on the following Tuesday. Okay, ready to resume play. Big 3rd down play here, 3rd and goal at the 4-yard line. Fletcher has just one running back behind him, and that's Jansen. And he's going to pass. Touchdown. It's to Walter. That's the 2nd touchdown pass he's caught. Well executed. And they now lead by 19-14. Wonder if they're going to go for 2, Kurt.
I think they should. 2 points here. This is that would at least mean that Cascade would have to tie. I mean, have to score and get an extra point to tie. Force them to go for 2 to win. Well, but they've got to get those, get that extra point back that they missed in the 1st quarter.
And getting 2 isn't always that easy. Well, they go into their double wide on each side. And Jansen, the remaining back, and back to pass is Fletcher. As the defender falls down, he throws to the end zone. He's got it. 2-point conversion. It's to Walter again. Well, he's been the key receiver tonight. 2 touchdowns and now a key extra point, 2 extra point grab, making it 21-14. As you say, Kurt, Cascade, even if they score, would need the extra point kick to be successful just to get the tie.
Well, we're going to take a look at the touchdown again. This was to Walter. Good protection up front by Kamiak. 2 guys close, bumping into each other for Cascade, but leaving Walter wide open in the corner.
And we talked about him having a bit of accuracy problem earlier, but that one was right there, and it was like a bullet. 11:23 to go, so they didn't go very far into the 4th quarter making their touchdown.
Well, the pressure is on, and we saw Kamiak before they went to the sidelines in the beginning of the 4th quarter holding up their 4 fingers, claiming that the 4th quarter is theirs. That's a motivational tool a lot of coaches use. when you're getting your team in shape, to let them know that the fourth quarter is where champions win ball games, and we're seeing probably the top two teams in the West go facing off right now.
Well, their alternate place kicker, Ethan Lunds, number 10, is going to boot. He's the left footer. Back deep, Butler in the middle. He's flanked by Holloman and Grant. And this one's going to go to Butler at the 17-yard line. Straight up the middle he goes. There he goes. Oh, my. If there's no flags, it's going to be going for the extra point and tie. There he goes. He took it at the 17-yard line. Makes it 83 yards. That looked pretty easy.
That was
Kurt
incredible.
Marsh.
Butler simply read where his blocks were. He had enough time to gather himself, wait for his wedge to form, saw the opening, and then he was going full speed within 2 strides and was in full sprint running by everybody all the way down the field. He just made that happen.
It was almost as if he kicked it into a power gear and stomped on it.
Incredible.
So now Smoke tries to tie it up. Terry decides not to try for the 2-pointer to go ahead. It's a little early for that. Smoke's been very accurate. Ball's placed down, and it's very good. And here we go again with a tie game at 21 all. Most interesting.
We're not going to see that again, but I'll tell you what, that was just an incredible individual effort. Well, I can't say that. It was pretty good blocking up front by the Bruins. They got that wedge formed, but it looked like people didn't even have a chance to get their bodies on anyone to block because J.J. Butler shifted it into 5th gear within 2 strides and was gone. Well,
he's been quite a force tonight when he's had a chance to carry the ball, which has not been that often. It also didn't take him many seconds to put a score on the board.
Well,
wow.
you know, it's almost, it's like it's not fair. Kamiak, you know, puts together a drive where they eat up almost an entire quarter. Everyone gets exhausted, and they put some points on the board. Cascade comes back with Butler. But that's what you expect from great players, is those big plays when you need them the most. You look to those guys to pull you out, and that time Butler rose to the occasion.
It was 12 seconds of clock time from the time he touched the ball on receiving the kickoff until the clock was stopped when he entered the end zone. Okay, Smoke kicks off. Got the usual people back there. Walter and Washington. And this is going to Walter at the 10. There again is that crisscross, and he does give it to Washington. Washington avoids a couple of tacklers, tries to reverse. Whammo, down he goes with Prieto coming in to put the final lick on him after he was held in an upright position.
Well, this ball game was everything everyone hoped it would be. We had 2 teams coming in at 5-0. The question was, is Kamiak for real? Well, they answered that question in the first half, and now we're seeing a battle of 2 great teams with a lot of pride, not willing to give up. Both of these are very competitive, well-coached teams fighting it out for virtually what is probably the West Coast Championship right here.
They line up in the I formation. Jansen forward of Washington. It's given off to Washington. Down he goes. Somebody submarined in there and really got him. That was Pacheco.
Well, submarine, yeah, he doesn't have to be crouching too low to do that. He's one of those 2 powerful little guys, Pacheco and Prieto, who dominate in there.
There's a loss of 1 on the play. Back to the 19-yard line. So 2nd and 11 coming here. As they move out of the huddle, got wideouts to either side. 1 remaining back, and that's Washington this time. And the quick toss to Washington, and again he's stopped. He doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Well, this is a time when Cascade needed a good defensive effort. Corey Ackles, 42, from the safety spot got him.
Well, Cascade just emotionally are just on fire right now. Even on the sidelines, guys that haven't been playing in the game are running around smacking each other in the head, excited about what's going on out the field. And you see the defense doing a little smacking of their own. stopping Kamiak and actually driving them back on their first 2 plays from the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 12 to go. See if they can hold him in. Fletcher, roll out right, run or pass, looking for somebody, being hemmed in, throws way down the field. It's a jump ball, and he almost caught it. Oh. Ty Cobb, I believe that was 21. Yeah, it was Ty Cobb, and that was, like I say, a high pass, alley-oop, jump ball.
Well, we're going to see here the rollout right by Fletcher. Fletcher is being hounded a little bit here by Prieto, number 21. He's got 4 blockers out front. Prieto working hard to try and get it. But then Fletcher lets it go. Gaffney does a good job. It's like a wounded duck up there of not using his hands to push off on Kopp. Kopp and Gaffney were down there, and Gaffney was able to keep his hands in, break that play up.
Well, here's Butler hoping to get his hands on the ball, but it's a low bouncing kick, and he should stay away from it, and wisely he does. And Cascade gets great position to start the possession at the 47-yard line. It's only a 30-yard punt with, of course, no return.
Boy, it just goes to show you what emotion can do in the game of football. Kamiak, in just 12 seconds of one play, Kamiak had the momentum. Cascade has that big return. All of a sudden, Cascade's on top.
1st and 10 at the Knights' 47-yard line. Ward powering his way over the left side, gets 3, maybe 4 yards to about the 43. And now, well, the clock isn't that much of a factor right now, but it's 9 minutes to play in the game. 21 all is the score.
Right now, all the pressure is on that Kamiak defense. They first play, start of the drive was inside their own 50. Their backs are against the wall.
2nd down, long 6 to go. Snell moves to the right side. Strength is to that side with the wing back there as well. And here's a handoff to Butler. Butler picking his way, and he slips and falls as he made his cut, but he got his first down. Gain of about 8 yards on the play. That'll set up 1st down at the 37.
This is that play we see Butler doing so much. It's that student body right to the outside. Bissell, great job of blocking. And then Butler tries to cut back. You see him slip there. Kopp is waiting for him. But Butler, seeing that cutback, wanting to get to that green grass on the left side.
Wing back right is Holloman. Snell going to that strong side again. Up the middle, Ward, nowhere. Gets back to the line of scrimmage with 2nd effort.
Kamiak plugging it up there. They had both linebackers walk up on the line of scrimmage. Reed comes in and stunts to his left, runs right into the hole Ward was going into, able to stop him. No gain.
There to make the stop. 2nd down 10 for the Bruins.
2nd and 10 at the 37. Actually, he lost about a foot. Be entirely accurate. That's Butler as the wing. Snell goes to the opposite side. Carrying the ball, Holloman gets away from one tackler, breaks into the secondary, got his first down, crosses the 25 to about the 22 with Harancic, Eric Harancic, one of the cornerbacks making the stop. He wears number 26.
Holloman coming all the way across the backfield. Here he comes. He's going to hurdle over a couple of outstretched hands. Right there is one. He runs right through another tackler, turns on the speed. Good blocking downfield there by J.J. Butler. You see Gaffney down there trying to block a little bit. Big game.
Back to the live action here. 1st and 10. And call it the 23-yard line. This time the tight end goes to the left side. Pass play by Pugmire. And he's down for a big loss, tremendous loss. It was White, number 59, who got him. That's not White, it's White, W-I-G-H-T.
Pugmire showing some frustration, talking to Ward there, asking him who was supposed to block that guy. Pugmire actually had an opportunity to get rid of that ball. You'd like to see him try and find somewhere to throw it if there's not an open receiver just in the area to not take that huge loss.
This looks like a 9-yard loss. He got 2nd down and 19 to go here. That's a big one to overcome. And there's another loss as Ward was not able to get anywhere.
You see Ward a little bit frustrated, turning away and throwing the ball down. Cascade cannot afford to get frustrated and start asking questions of themselves. They've got to stay together and focused. This is a time when a real test for them to see if they can pull together when they need to the most.
Boy, 3rd down and 19 to go, almost 20. Have to come up with a big one here. Pugmire, quick slant in, catch made. No, he didn't hold on. It was to Gaffney, and Bolschweiler, number 40 of Kamiak, was right there to knock it down. And there's a penalty marker, illegal motion against Cascade anyway. I'm sure they'll decline this penalty because the ball is well out of field goal range here. He'd have to be kicking a 50-yard field goal, and I don't think he's got the leg for that.
They do decline. That puts Cascade in a position where they have to decide whether they're going to go for the end zone or try and punt it away.
Well, the plays that got him down into not quite the red zone, but close, suddenly deserted them with their effectiveness, and they wound up losing a bunch of yards. Now it's 4th down. They're going to go for it. No punt here, but they still have 19 yards to go. Have to get to about the 13 to get their 1st down. Pugmire throws, got a long one there, just out of the reach of the intended receiver was Holloman. Cleared down around that 1st down yard marker. So the ball will be turned over. This is not exactly a turnover, it's just a 4th down give up, as it were.
Another big
other team.
Big play on that drive was the sack by Matt White of Kamiak when Pugmire rolled out, couldn't get rid of the ball, held on to it probably a little bit too long, and took that huge loss. That pulled him right out of the position of being able to get a 1st down and stop their drive short.
5 1/4 minutes to go in the game. Still tied at 21. Fletcher handing off, shaking 2 tacklers as Jansen runs for a gain of at least 5. Wow, they had him right at the line of scrimmage, and he just busted away from people.
Jansen's been doing that all night. Strong runner, gets up a lot of speed very quickly, and then is able to maintain his balance. His guys are dragging and holding him and trying to hit him. He's going to be the guy that's their go-to guy, has been all year for Kamiak. Now all of a sudden, Cascade's defense are the ones with the back against the wall.
Carl, is he 100 yards yet? No, okay. Anyway, here's the 2nd down and 5 play coming up. There he goes again, got the 1st down, head down, leaning forward, gets about 10 on that carry. He's up across his own 45 to the 46 or 7.
As a matter of fact, Rod, he's well over 150 yards at this point. That's about 35 yards over his average per game this year. Against a very respectable and very good Cascade defense.
One of the middlemen in the line, Corey Axline, came out to give him a breather for Cascade. He'll have to go back in there and play tougher. All right, 1st and 10 at the 46. High formation, handoff, 2nd man, Washington, who's whacked at the line of scrimmage after a yard gain.
Boy, he was met hard at the line of scrimmage. I didn't quite see who was there first. It looked like one ball. A couple others were there. You see there the sidelines. Cascade, a couple games we saw this year, those guys standing there got a lot of playing time. Their uniforms aren't even dirty tonight, as this one has been close all the way through.
Neither team has made much use of substitutes, just those few key players getting in there. All right, Walter is the wide out to the right. This is a 2nd down and 9 play coming. Fletcher's going to pass. He's being chased. And Billy Ward on a stunt. A dog comes through and gets him for about a 10-yard loss.
We saw that a few games ago where Ward was coming just about every other play. They've slowed that down in this game, but there you see Ward, just a delayed dog. Billy, a senior, playing smart, coming a little slow and then bursting through. Looks very similar to the situation that Kamiak put Cascade in their last drive.
Well, it's about a 7-8 yard loss on the play, back to the 39-yard line.
Tell the other guys to watch the wheel up.
They have to get to the Cascade 44 to make their first down. This is the 3rd down play. Wideouts, 2 of them to either side. Straight drop back by Fletcher. Throws a home run ball, and it's knocked away. Great play by, who was that? Well, it's a number 24, and we don't have a number 24 in our roster, because that used to be the one that Holloman wore, but he changed it. Well, anyway, whoever knocked it down did a good job, and Butler goes back to see what he can do at returning a punt. He hasn't been able to return many punts because they've been short and bouncing around. High snap, Fletcher gets it away. Is Butler, well, he's going to let it bounce out of bounds. Cascade, with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the game, will have position at the 35-yard line or thereabouts to start their drive.
Well, I doubt if after that kickoff return they're even wanting to get it close to Butler, as we see the brain trust of Cascade's coaching staff there on the sideline. Terry Ennis, establishing himself as a great high school football coach, has had 15 ex-assistants go on to head coaching jobs in his career. That just means he's a good teacher.
Tim Grant is a wide out to the left side. There goes Snell resetting, and resetting as a wing back is Butler. Here's the quick toss. Carrying the ball is Butler. Gets a block, cuts in. There he goes for the first down at the 50. Got about 13 or 14 on the play. Clock stops while they reset the first down marker sticks.
Boy, excellent job by Eric Dinwiddie. Just an offensive lineman's dream. The guard pulls out, actually left tackle pulls out, and right in front of his own bench has an opportunity to pancake a guy and spring Butler for a big game.
Right at the 50, there goes Snell to the right side. Side the wing back is on, and they give it a double reverse, carrying the ball from that wing back spot for a gain of about 4. It's Holloman on the carry that trip, number 6.
A 4-yard pickup.
Blocking on the inside, they do that double reverse handoff, a lot of different motion in the middle, and then to throw another wrench in the works, they do trap blocking up front, and that really makes it hard for Kamiak to read any keys.
Well, can they get close enough for Smoke to try a field goal? A field goal successful would win it. Here's that slant play again. Butler trying to pick a hole, and the tackler stays right with him, throws him for a 2-yard loss.
Well, that's one time too many that Butler tried to cut back. Sometimes it's just as good to just keep it going to the outside, but he's been so successful cutting it back. That time Reed was standing there waiting for him, maintaining good position there in the middle of that line for Kamiak.
He's one of the inside linebackers. He's been in on a lot of plays. All right, we're under a minute to play now. 3rd down and almost 8. Flag, long pass, incomplete. Meant for Holloman. Well, whatever, it's going to be 4th down unless the penalty changes it. Bolschweiler was quite well staying with Holloman on that one, and besides the pass was not there.
Depending on the play.
I thought I saw somebody move on the Cascade team. Yeah, illegal motion is the call, right? So it's up to Kamiak to decide whether they want the play to stand or take the penalty. I think they just let it go, make them kick. Time to play, 41 seconds. Well, Kurt, always a possibility that overtime formula. It always confuses me.
Other possibility is a fake. Cascade got one in their game plan.
Oh, why? Well, Ward is the punter. He's back there. And Walter, who's been a good one tonight, is the receiver. High snap, but plenty of time to get the kick away. Pretty nice kick. It's going to bounce inside the 15, inside the 10, down at about the 9. So that stops the clock with 32 seconds to play. A 38-yard punt. A nice one under those conditions.
Well, Rod, how are you up on your overtime rules?
Well, every year, the first time it happens, I get very confused.
Well, then, great. That makes two of us. It'll be the blind leading the blind. I know that whoever scores first wins.
Maybe one of your sons over here has got a better handle on it. Yeah, whoever scores first wins. But they get a chance to match. Okay, Fletcher waits. Hands off. Jansen gets short yardage, 2 or 3 yards, and that may be their plan, is to play it completely safe and take their chances with overtime rather than give up the ball in some kind of a long effort here. 14, 13, 12. They're making no effort to get up there to the line of scrimmage. Cascade is not going to stop the clock. You people on the production end just prepare for a little more tape to be used up on tonight's game. We're going overtime, folks, because the clock is at all zeros, and we have a score like you see on the screen. 21 all. Quite a ball game, as befits the way these two teams have played. A first down at the 15. So here's the crisscross toss, and carrying the ball is Jansen, and he didn't get too far. He got 2 yards, and that's about it. I beg your pardon, that was Walter carrying from a wingback spot. Thank you, Carl. The uniforms are getting so dirty, I hate to make an excuse for myself, but that was Walter rather than number 48, the workhorse fullback Jansen.
Well, we talked about a little bit, Rod, as they were setting up to do this, that Jansen is going to be tough from 25 yards in. They give him the ball a few times. He's tough to stop up the middle.
Now he's the only remaining back, as they've got 2 wideouts to either side. This is 2nd down and 8. There's Jansen. It hits right into the pile, and he had nowhere to go, and he's down for a loss. I think they're going to be back to the original line of scrimmage at the 25. First man to him was Adam Snell.
Cascade is offsetting their defensive line up front. Snell, Olsen, and Prieto right there to make the stop.
So it is back at the 25, 3rd and 10. And I think Kamiak is going to call a timeout. They do. I don't know the timeout rule in this, but I would presume obviously they have at least one to use. What were the total yards in regulation, Kurt?
Well, Kamiak had 251 total yards. That's rushing and passing in the regulation time. Cascade, a mere 172. Definitely their worst game offensively thus far this year, but still able to maintain a tie score. All of that stuff is thrown out the window right now, as it doesn't matter who did what in regulation. This is all down to who can do it now in this overtime period.
Well, Cascade has played 2 excellent downs on defense, a 2-yard gain and then a 2-yard loss. So normally with 3rd and long, you expect a pass play. We'll see.
As you said, Rod, if Kamiak does not get a first down or a score on this play, Cascade gets the ball on the 25-yard line, and they get some chances to take a whack at it. If they score, that will be the win in the ballgame.
Okay, double slot. Slot and a wide out to either side. And back to pass, straight back, throws under pressure, throws behind the receiver. And let's see, that was Walter, the kind of the favorite target tonight. The idea was fine, but the pass was a little behind the player, and it's going to be 4th down. Now they could try a long field goal, but again, they're going to call a timeout to talk over this critical play.
Well, it looks like they're obviously get at least 2 timeouts, maybe 3.
There's one thing sure, there's going to be no punting in this overtime formula.
And I don't know what kind of foot they have for a kicker, but definitely good job so far, Cascade defensively. That last play, Walter had a step on the defender. Then Cascade got a little help that time from Fletcher, throwing the ball a little bit behind Walter to set up this 4th down.
Hello, there's the Cascade rooting section. Cheerleaders lined up in front. They kind of probably got all their fingers crossed for this 4th down play. And from the time they're taking, I would presume, Kurt, that they are not coming out in any field goal formation because they would know right away.
It's a little late to teach how to line up for a field goal at this point.
Okay, you've got Wheat and Walter to the right side. They're the only wideouts. 2 running backs in position, Washington and Jansen. 4th and 10, roll out right. The pass is a catch. A catch just before he went out of bounds. It was Wheat, took it at the 12-yard line. Number 2.
Excellent protection, good job. Roll out right, buys the quarterback some time. You'll see it here, and he's got plenty of it. Gets the ball up in the air, and there is Wheat. He bobbled the ball a little bit out of bounds. That's a questionable call there.
But he did dig his toes in to get him in bounds before he bounced out of bounds. All right, here's the 1st and 10 at the 12. Jansen, the left side, bucks his way down near the 5. Now, when you start 1st down at the 12, you really do expect Jansen.
And you've got 4 plays, remember, to get it in there. Jansen pounding up the middle, doing what he did well all night, had over 144 yards rushing in regulation. Cascade now wanting to think things over and take a timeout defensively.
Looks like he got to the 7 or 6 yard line. Hard to tell from the angle we have here. But anyway, it's going to be 2nd and not goal to go. They can still get a 1st down at the 2. 2nd and 5 at the 7, we'll call it. So Cascade talks over the defense, and I think they're going to be expecting Jansen for sure.
Well, there's no time limit as all zeros on the clock. This is just the Kansas City overtime play. The rules are you go until someone wins, and it's very similar as Carl Nichols, our statistician, described it. It's like baseball where you have the top of the inning and the bottom of the inning. Kamiak basically at the top of the inning now has an opportunity to score. Cascade can come back and match it. And we keep going until one team wins in that format.
Okay, the lineup with Washington at left half, Jansen at the fullback spot directly behind the quarterback. And there's the Washington on the carry, and did he get in? He did. Pretty good running to the outside, making a tackler miss him, and drawing first blood, and making sure that Cascade cannot go for the field goal. Cascade has to come back and try to score a touchdown to stay even. Now the extra point is critical too. And it's going to be their number 1 extra point kicker, Darren Hansen. Number 5 will try to make it a 28-21 ball game. At the moment it's 27. Looks good, certainly is good. So Kamiak has really put the pressure on this homestanding Cascade Bruin team.
Boy, that time of that touchdown, it was just simply pin everybody inside, pitch it outside to Washington, give him an opportunity to go one-on-one. Ackles came up, tried to make the stop. Washington stepped out of the tackle right into the corner of the end zone.
Well, whether Cascade was overcompensating trying to stop Jansen, well, it was the phantom Jansen. He never got the ball. Washington did. Washington, the star of their game a week ago, and he hasn't carried it that much tonight, but certainly carried it when it counted there.
He hadn't even carried it that much during the season, about half the time as Jansen had, but has a nice average of 7 yards a carry.
Well, Cascade will go with, I see their huddle, Holloman and Grant are in there. And of course, Billy Ward, number 44, the fullback. And I assume J.J. Butler is in there as well. There's Butler's 83-yard kickoff return that really sparked Cascade in this second half. Well, as they would say in tennis, advantage Kamiak right now. The split man left is Grant. Rest of the team in tight. Here's the pitch to Butler. Trying to cut back, does a nice job of it, gets down inside, barely inside the 15, and may have a first down there. Yep, he does have a first down. Not too bad on one play to go 10 yards or a little bit more. He's got a ball length inside the 15.
Cascade coming back with what they do best, and that is that pitch to the outside, pulling several linemen and just trying to move that line of scrimmage, giving Butler some room to run.
Butler lines up at left half, Ward at fullback. 1st and 10 here. Hand off Butler. Here's Butler going to the outside, and a good one-on-one tackle put on him at the 12-yard line. Loss on the play.
Walter coming up to make the stop. Excellent job of wrapping Butler up. He's not an easy guy to get a beat on.
Well, Walter's been a key man for the Knights all night long. Here's a 2nd down and almost 8 yards to go for their first down here. They're at the 12. And I lost the ball, but it's Butler going down to the 1-yard line. Wow. I got faked on that play, and I guess I can give Pugmire some credit and my own eyes for not staying with it.
Good job that time. Pugmire fakes the handoff inside. Butler comes back across the backfield, takes an inside handoff, and just picks and chooses his way. Excellent job by the Cascade linemen of maintaining their blocks. A lot of time for that play to develop, and you need to have those linemen keep their feet moving.
Now one of the players that must be sweating is the extra point kicker. There's Ward trying to go over the top. He struggles to the goal line and goes in. So now Cascade gets a chance to prolong the overtime.
Well,
they could go for 2 and try to win. If they don't get the 2 points, it's over. That's an interesting decision.
It is, and that's one of those where that's up to the head coach and only to the head coach. He decides to go for 1. Of course, there's always the opportunity for a fake.
Yeah, Kirkpatrick, the holder, 86, Smoke the kicker. Smoke's been a letter perfect tonight up to now. And it's good. Wow. We keep going. Same formula. Kamiak gets the next shot from 25 yards.
Boy, it must be great to be young. I see these guys from Cascade just jumping around, running all over the place. You know, you wouldn't even think they've had a whole football game, and now 2 series into overtime. They don't look like they're even tired. Running on adrenaline.
Well, the key play in that series was the run by Butler to set it up close. And, of course, Ward scored it.
Well, back to the drawing board. It's the top of the 2nd inning if we're going to keep going with that baseball metaphor. And Kamiak has a chance to take the score up another notch.
Tired. It's a cool, almost cold night. And they're certainly not huffing and puffing very much. And these kids on both teams obviously are in good shape, Kurt.
Yeah, I remember back, and we used to play, you look at guys like Ward out there who are on the field practically every play of the game, maybe comes out for 1 or 2 special teams. They're going to have another coin toss, it looks like.
Oh, I see. I think I said there was going to be Kamiak's chance next. Instead of that, it's a coin toss at the start of each segment. Carl admits he didn't know that either. Well, maybe Kamiak will win the toss again. What's he say?
Cascade.
Cascade wins. Cascade goes with the first possession. Somewhere along the line, to make this not go forever, the defense has to assert itself.
Well, some overtimes you see where the defense is able to cause a turnover that stops that threat right there. No options to get the ball back, because then the offense of the team that got the turnover gets to go for it, and if they score, it's over. But, you know, you don't teach your guys to go out and try and strip the ball, because then you run the risk of not making the tackle. This is a high-pressure situation. Everything's on the line, and you only have one opportunity here in overtime.
Hey, you know, another thing working against those extra point kickers is the sloppy footing for the plant foot. Both kids made it good. Another point there. All right, 1st and 10 from the 25. There goes Butler to the outside, being hemmed in. Goes down the sideline, makes a nice little gain at that. For some reason, he is able to cut on that turf better than other players tonight.
Well, he made something out of nothing there. He was hemmed in from the outside, just paused for a moment, got those pursuing tacklers to slow down, and then put on that burst of speed. And you're right, he's able to maintain footing. His feet are so quick, I don't think he has them on the ground long enough to slip.
It was a 6-yard gain. Pretty good when he was hemmed in by the sideline. All right, Butler lines up at left half, Ward at fullback. Wide out to the right is Gaffney. Here's Butler again, trying to pick his hole. Keeps going. He's down inside the 10. Has a first down at about the 9 or 8-yard line, depending on the spot.
Well, Butler just looks like he's not going to be denied. Everyone in there fighting, good blocking up front, and Butler picking his holes. He looks like he's getting a little tired. Again, he's had a good night tonight. Got that cast on the wrist there. Had a little trouble catching the ball, but it certainly hasn't affected his running ability.
Those uniforms might be getting a little heavy from a little soaked up water and a bit of mud here and there. Okay, and the lineup, it's Butler at right half, Ward at fullback. Goal, handoff, Ward is down for a loss. A great dogged ankle tackle put on him by Larter, the outside linebacker, number 42, one of the co-captains for Kamiak.
Ward trying to run off tackle, takes a little while for that play to get there. Kamiak doing a good job. Larter coming across the line of scrimmage, meeting Ward right there, and then just hanging on to one leg. Ward trying to sneak away, but Kamiak pursuers came in to hem him in there for a loss.
Now this is the goal, 2nd and goal from the 12. There goes Butler trying to make his cut. They rally to the point of attack, the tacklers do, and they stop him for a short gain. Remember, this is the 4-down zone. It's going to be 3rd coming, and they cannot make a first down. It's either into the end zone or nothing, or a possible 3-point kick.
Well, there you go. That's the question. If Cascade does not get into the end zone on this play, do they kick the field goal or try for the touchdown?
Some very interesting coaching decisions. Well, let's see what happens here. Passes Pugmire, and he's down for a loss. Oh my. That would make it a long field goal kick. The tackler was Mayhews, number 58, defensive tackle, 210-pound junior. Pugmire never had a chance.
Yeah, someone missing their block up front. Mayhews able to squeeze through, and now all the pressure.
It's on Smoke. Smoke's going to try unless it's a fake.
It's on 3 people. It's on the snapper, who has to get that ball back there, the holder, and then finally on to Smoke.
And this is from the 22-yard line, so it makes it a 32-yard attempt. Kick is up, and it's off to the left, and it's no good. No good.
Perfect snap, good hold, just hooked it a little bit to the left. Now here's your opportunity for Kamiak. All they got to do is put points on the board anyway, and that seals the victory for them.
This is the 2nd segment of the overtime. Each scored a touchdown and conversion in the first. Now Cascade fails to score after reaching the 9-yard line with a first down, then suffering some setbacks. Okay, let's see what the Knights do with it. They have the outside threat Washington, they have the inside threat Jansen, and they have the occasional pass from Fletcher. This time Washington lines up at right half with Walter as a wing back on the right side. And there goes Washington, avoids a tackler. He's going down the 10-yard line or thereabouts. I know he's got a first down. I have to see where they spotted. It's right about the 10. That was about the same play they scored on before. Number 19.
Well, see this again. They're getting it to their quickest guy to the outside. We've got Ward outside, just trying to go underneath, missing the tackle. And finally coming up from behind. There's the Phantom there, number 24, and making that stop.
Well, let's see where that official's lining up. It's right on the 10-yard line. So now it's first, and I can't tell. Yeah, it's first and goal because they've taken away the forward yardstick. There goes Jansen. Can't get away from good tackling that time. Gain of a yard or at most 2. I noticed the PA man is giving little Prieto the credit for the tackle, Kurt, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's getting very difficult for us to identify the people because of little mud on those numbers. They're pretty good on the television screen, don't they? Number 19 is Washington. Number 48, of course, is Jansen. See what they do with second and goal. And it's Washington to the outside, spinning, does a couple of 360s, doesn't get him too much.
Guess who on the tackle? Prieto.
Number 21, there you see him. Well, now you've got 2 more whacks at it, any kind of a score, and they're certainly getting in position for a potential 3-point field goal. And, a Kamiak player is injured. And I don't care who it is, he's important because every one of those kids has played the whole game. You can tell by their uniforms. That may be Washington.
Well, the thing about that is once the officials call timeout, that player has to go out for a play, whether or not he's able to regain. Maybe he's just got the wind knocked out of him, but he's still got to go off the field as Cascade calls a timeout to talk this over.
Well, there's no clock involved in these overtime sessions. They just go till somebody has at least 4 downs, neither scores or doesn't. Cascade's already had his chance in this segment of the overtime, did not score. And there you see the player going off. It is Washington who carried the ball. There's number 63 at Cascade, Eric Dinwiddie, who's been a fine blocker tonight.
Well, you talk about even if they're tired, they're looking like they're getting a little tired out there now. It's this is the real test. These are the situations that you train for, you practice for. This is where the thrill of competition is, when you're matched up against equal caliber and your back's against the wall. Each guy out there wants to make the big play.
Line of scrimmage is the 8, 3rd down and goal. Fletcher. Lives off, and there's a fumble on the play. Fumble. Cascade recovers. That was Washington, who came back in and carried the ball, slipped, number 1, and as he slipped, he lost the ball, and Cascade recovered it.
Whew. Well, one more coin toss. We're in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, top of the 3rd for whoever wins the toss. Well, he mentioned also that defense had to rear its head, and it did on both teams on that stretch.
This is by far the best game we've seen this year. We've been in some real routes here in this stadium, and we're certainly getting a show tonight. What a great homecoming. The only way it could be better for Cascade is if they were to win this game. But both teams showing that they are of top caliber. In this game, whoever wins, and maybe both of these teams will be in the playoffs, but this is nothing but hones and sharpens those competitive skills, and what great game experience for both teams as they go into the rest of their season and possibly postseason play.
Okay, Butler and Ward are out there as captains for Cascade. C9 Fletcher, 42 Larter, and 48 Jansen. All right. Are they going to change ends of the field? They've all been going at the north end of Everett Memorial Stadium up to now. Could go the other way, I guess. No, they're still pointing the same way. And apparently will be Kamiak's ball. Is that the way you read it, Kurt?
Kamiak has the ball, top of the third.
No scoring in the overtime, in the second period, that is, the second inning. But let's see here.
I don't know if we have any timeouts left on either side either.
Well, the timeout factor is one that's a mystery to me, to tell you the truth, Kurt. Okay, Cascade goes back to line up on defense. Now, where are they putting the ball?
Well, now they're moved down into the 10-yard line, it looks like.
Okay.
Well, they have a little mercy for us.
So if it's at the 10-yard line on this third period, first and goal at the 10. Well, you know, there are those that think in this educational system that it's not too good for high school players to play long games. That's one of the reasons they have 12-minute quarters instead of 15. This is a long game tonight. Okay, here comes the Knights out with the lone running back behind the quarterback is Jansen. Two split men to either side. Back to pass on first down into the end zone, a fade route. Touchdown. It's Walter again. He's made the great key catches tonight. That ball was one of those jump ball situations, Kurt, and Walter is tall enough. The kid is 6'1", about 185 pounds, and a dependable senior, number 16. Here's the play.
Yeah, you see there, you got Fletcher dropping back, getting it out to Walters, who's 6'1". Ackles, 5'11", about the same size, is out there with him. Walter just sees the ball a little better and is able to go up and get it at the apex.
Now here's the extra point kick. It's up. It's good. Again, the pressure goes on Cascade. That was Hansen who kicked it through. Score at the moment is 35-28. All these points accumulate. It's just like this was still part of the regulation ball game.
35 points for Kamiak. Cascade is only allowed in their first 5 ball games this year. Before this one, 26 points combined total points against them. Kamiak has surpassed that all by themselves this evening.
Remember, it was 21-all at the end of regulation. Okay, Cascade gets the ball at the 10-yard line. First and goal. No first down possible. Quick count. Ball goes to Butler. 10, 5. Run out of bounds at about the 2 or maybe the 3. They strung it out, but Butler still had enough drive and enough ability to move upfield to get it close. Where are they going to mark that ball? It's probably right at the 2.5. Looks about halfway between the 5 and the goal. And there's a player down. Let's see. Is this a Kamiak player? Sure is. Oh, number 58. That's Mayhews, 210-pound junior. Well, good for him. He's up on his feet, and as you say, has to go off to the sidelines for a play.
Mayhews has had a pretty good ball game, making some big plays. One of them a quarterback sack, and one of the overtime period.
Again, a quick count. Ward struggles, dives for the goal line. He's over. Now the extra point kick becomes all important again. This will match it if it's made and send it into the 4th inning.
This is why Chris Smoke needs to keep his chin up after missing that field goal. You never know when you're going to need him again. He has a chance to redeem himself here. Able to put it through to send us into one more period of overtime.
Well, Smoke probably has a pretty good future as a kicker. Here's a timeout being taken by Cascade to make sure they set up right for this extra point, I guess. Smoke is a junior, so he will be back next year. He's about 6 feet, 155 pounds. Not the biggest kid in the world, but he's been a very accurate kicker all season long, really.
I don't know. I don't know whether I'm just impatient or I just feel like I could count on motivating my guys to put the ball in, but I would be very tempted to go for 2 in a situation like this.
I wonder if they have a fake off the extra point kick in their book. Not many teams do.
Well, it's hard in high school just to execute an extra point, much less a fake. Yeah. It's difficult. You've got that snap and a couple other things. So.
But plus the holder in this case is not the quarterback. He's a special teams holder. That's number, well, let's see.
They're going for it.
Oh my goodness, they are going for 2. Whew. That is some coaching decision. This is for the win or the loss on this play. Wow. A scrimmage play from the 3-yard line. So let's see, Ward is the remaining back, and they give it to Ward. He didn't make it. He didn't make it. He got to the 1-yard line and was held. A quick count, they ran it off, and there you see him getting the pat on the helmet from his tight end, Snell. It's not his fault he didn't get in. The blocking was not there. What do you see out there, Kurt?
Well, the fans from the Kamiak side are emptying onto the field and just swarming the Kamiak players. If somebody didn't think this was a huge game for Kamiak and Cascade players are still on the field. I saw one throw his helmet, and boy, this is not like a mid-season game. Terry Ennis is out in the middle of the ball field all by himself, looking around, just kind of watching the mayhem go on.
Okay, well, there you see it. We're going to take a quick break here and be right back with the final recap on tonight's action. Stay with us. Everett with the Kamiak Knights, only 4 years old as a school and a football team, beating the perennial power Cascade Bruins 35-34 after a truly gutsy call by head coach Terry Ennis did not produce the winning 2-point conversion. So, Kurt Marsh, let's give first a scoring summary of the game. It was a gasser all the way.
Well, pretty slow scoring in the first half. Cascade first drive scored on a 3-yard run by Billy Ward, and then Kamiak came back on a long drive capped off by Josh Jansen to miss the extra point, which we thought would come into play later. However, Kamiak then, after a long interception return, scored again before the half, 13-7.
And in the third quarter,
Cascade came back strong right out of the blocks. A nice long drive. Billy Ward put the icing on the cake, and Cascade up by 1 point again. Then Kamiak coming back, scoring on a 4-yard touchdown pass to Josh Walter, and then a 2-point conversion to Josh Walter again. And then we saw J.J. Butler come up with his weekly big play, 83-yard kickoff return for J.J. Butler, and then PAT with Chris Smoke putting it through.
Then it went into overtime.
We were at 21-21, and Kamiak scored first. Cascade came back and scored again. Both made their PATs, and Kamiak lined it up one more time. Both of them lined it up and didn't score, and then Kamiak finally came back from the 10-yard line, got Josh Walter in the corner of the end zone, was able to get a touchdown there, put the pressure on Cascade. Cascade, 3-yard run by Billy Ward, decided to go for 2, Rod, as you said. If they make it, they win. If they miss it, they lose, and they were stopped short.
So Kamiak certainly should get into the top 10 somewhere in the AAA ratings this week after knocking off Cascade, which lives in the top 10 and generally toward the top of the top 10 for that matter. Okay, the figures on yardage.
Well, you can see there that Kamiak dominated first down, 16 of them to Cascade's 12. Kamiak started off very slow passing, but then kind of came on in that second half. 10 of 25, 88 yards. Cascade 9 of 13 for 77. Rushing, you see Kamiak was way ahead of Cascade, 223 yards. Jansen getting 159 of those on 27 carries. Butler having a good night, 16 carries for 146 yards. Of course, that 83-yard kickoff return, but just not quite good enough. Cascade losing the battle of yardage, 311 to 274. And then, of course, those turnovers, 3 of them, one of them costing Cascade some big points.
And as a matter of fact, looking back in hindsight, it was that touchdown that Kamiak scored just before the end of the first half that was very critical in the overall picture. Look at that. There's Butler being congratulated for a great night, but a losing night by one of the Kamiak people. All right, Kurt, that's most interesting in our first overtime game of the year. 2 excellent teams, and they played their hearts out. One team wins by 1 point and stays unbeaten. Great stuff. Okay, looking ahead to next week, we'll be covering the Marysville Pilchuck Tomahawks coming in here to Everett Memorial to play the Seagulls, and that might be pretty evenly matched affair. We hope for the best, like to see one just as good as the one we saw tonight. So that's about it from the booth. Kurt Marsh has been our expert authority on everything tonight. Nice work, Kurt. And on statistics and spotting, we've had Carl Nichols, of course, back with us after recovering from an injury. And I'm Rod Belcher saying good night for all the TCI crew on TCI's Game of the Week.